Welcome back. Let's do the AM news now. And residents of Odumase in the Sunyani West municipality are protesting the bad nature of the road leading to the district capital. Chairman of Odumase for Development, Mark Kofi Amwa, says appeals to fix and complete stuck projects are falling on deaf ears, a situation that continues to frustrate and affect the livelihood of residents. Precious Semevo has more.
Farmers, traders, and students were among the residents of Odumase, the capital of Sunyani West municipality of the Bono region, who took to the streets to demonstrate over stuck road projects and lack of development. The demonstrators held placards with inscriptions such as "Construct our roads before election 2024. We are part of Ghana," and marched from Odumase to present their petition to the regional minister at the coordinating council in Sunyani, describing their MCE as hopeless. Mark Kofi Amwa is the chairman of Odumase for Development.
Before everything, we had issues with the road. And from Odumase low cost to SNET traffic lights, the contractor, the road is supposed to be a dual carriage, number one. And the rumors we've received that the government is changing it to a single lane. They started the constructions, demolished people's property on the side of the road. They started building a bridge. The bridge is incomplete at this point, but the contractor has taken all his assets and he's gone. So the road has come to a complete halt. So the people of Odumase do not have a straight road coming to Sunyani anymore.
He said the situation is affecting the livelihoods of the residents.
The government workers, the individual workers that commute from Odumase to Sunyani, the business people, traders that use the main route, they cannot come easily. They have to go through diverse roads to come to Sunyani, which is improper. And also the farmlands going to time. So the bridge that the contractor started working on has been demolished. It's a problem right now for people of Odumase that are going to the farms. They can't go. The farmers that are coming, bringing their food stuff to Odumase, they also cannot come.
Regional Minister Justina Osubanahini praised the organizers for their peaceful conduct and promised to carry their concerns forward.
Forestry Commission and Ministry of Food and Agriculture. Our money now also at the Romuno. And then when you first see Naya Kaya, yes, I say, I went to me. I am Kaya. They are so real swap, young to me. Your smart is a metra, so never put a yak and so at their command. The yak and the command, Member was slanted. I'm going to say, what the buyer, man,
Mr. Amwa, however, said they would regroup if nothing positive was seen on the ground.
At this point in time, according to what the regional minister told us, she is going to forward our letter to the government. We have not given her any timeline. We are going to meet and come out with a timeline that if we don't hear anything from the regional minister, we're going to take another course of action.
Precious Semevo, JoyNews, Sunyani.
Now, the Ghana College of Physicians and Surgeons has commenced its quest to decentralize and expand training for all specialists beyond teaching institutions in the country. Rector of the college, Professor Richard Adenu, who was speaking at the launch of the college's new training center in Techiman, says this will minimize the frustrations young doctors go through to specialize. And Sabet has more.
The Ghana College of Physicians and Surgeons in April this year announced its quest to decentralize and expand the training of all specialists beyond its two main specialized training centers. This, according to the rector of the college, Professor Richard Adenu, will, amongst other things, bring specialist training closer to the people, a move he says would help improve healthcare across the country.
We need for us to decentralize the training of specialist doctors. So currently, for doctors to specialize, they need to leave their regions, come mostly to either Kolibo or Komfanochi and get the training. But for us to speed up the training of specialist doctors and to make sure that we achieve the numbers that we need for the many hospitals that we are creating, it's important for us to begin to train in all regions of the country. So our target is that by 2030, there will be membership and fellowship training going on in all the regions of the country. So it's an important thing to do if we really want to get health to all the people in this country.
Professor Richard Adanu, who was speaking at the launch of the new Ghana College of Physicians and Surgeons Training Center in the Techiman Holy Family Hospital, admonished the trainees to take their studies seriously to prove a point that specialist trainings can be done in hospitals outside Kolebu and Komfo-Anokye.
For the trainees, the doctors who have been trained here in Techiman, what I'll say to them is that they should apply themselves, get this training done in record time, so that the message can be sent round that it's possible to train people at the fellowship level for general specialties in hospitals outside our big hospitals.
Dr. Ufbawa is the leader of the medical support team from Germany who are partners to the program. He is optimistic that the partnership will build strong medical trainees and also help build Ghana's medical systems.
It's a big chance for the Holy Family Hospital. It's a big chance for us to get in a certain time that the Holy Family has its own medical education center, and we wish on the way all the best.
Executive Director of the Christian Health Association of Ghana, Dr. Peter Yeboah, on his part, noted that the partnership demonstrates CHAG's vision of ensuring access to quality healthcare and was quick to add that the decentralization of training for surgeons will help improve healthcare across the country.
This transformational policy of decentralization and expansion of the training of postgraduate members of the college, in terms of members and fellows, is actually important. It gives meaning to our collective agenda of ensuring the training and employment of highly skilled doctors to the rural areas.
Chairman of the occasion and Ankobia Henny of the Techiman Traditional Council, Nana Amponsa Yeboah Takra II, underscored the relevance of the training facility and asked that the move would, amongst other things, enhance the economic activities of the area.
This accreditation, I believe, will serve as an immediate booster to this renowned institution. Also, it will enhance economic activities in Techiman and its environs. That is to say, not only are trainees going to receive knowledge here in the institution, but businesses in our communities will also see growth because trainees will patronize our wares as well.
That's one of the stories. The Ministry of Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs says it has a proposed national religious policy that will mobilize religious leaders for national development and peaceful coexistence. Sector Minister Stephen Asamoah Boateng believes their proposed policy, when approved, will tackle the growing concerns about religious practices and beliefs that undermine national development. Rejoice Semefa Besu has more in this report.
Population of the Minister for Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, Stephen Boateng, was equally concerned about some religious practices that he says undermine national development and peace.
Today, hopefully, we begin to chart a path that will bring all stakeholders together, that we can all agree to go in a common direction. As I speak, government legal framework for management of religious affairs is underpinned by Article 21, Section 1, subsection C of the 1992 Constitution. It is in this regard that my ministry has been working with key stakeholders to put together a draft proposed government policy for direction of religion designed to protect the rights and freedom of all of us, regardless of our beliefs or non-beliefs. As interesting as it is, the practice of religions has divided opinions. Such opinions have ranged from weak enforcement and limited adherence to laws ordering the conduct and practice of religion. Again, religious fanaticism. Some religious leaders abuse their followers. Again, noise pollution. In some instances, causing nuisance to some neighbors and damaging the eardrums of infants. Money laundering, which are in almost all the countries in the world become a crime. exploitation of the vulnerable within the religious landscape, limited documentation on code of conduct, and succession plans that may bring confusion and conflicts in our religious bodies. Whilst my ministry appreciates and commends the wonderful works of some of our religious bodies and leaders, we also wish to take proactive measures to engineer the necessary reforms needed for addressing the worrying issues that have sprung up.
He indicated that the proposed policy will allow the ministry to mobilize religious leaders and sensitize them while consulting with them for national development.
Now, the Ministry of Education is on a course to train teachers who handle children at the preschool level across the country. The project will provide a holistic and well-rounded education for learners across the country. Deputy Minister of Education, Reverend John Intim-Fojo, says under the package, the classrooms of the kindergarten schools are being resourced while the teachers are being equipped with play-based methods of teaching. He was speaking at the launch of the KG Inset Package implementation at Asen South in the Central Region.
John Intim-Fojo says government holds kindergarten education very dear to its heart, and the launch, which will be followed by the implementation of the policy, is a big testimony to government commitment.
Following the launch of the early childhood policy, we have gone further with the support of Sabre Education, UNICEF and other partners to ensure that we train KG teachers, over 48,000 KG teachers across the country. Today we have come to Asen South to launch the Central Regional implementation of the KG Inset Package. The intent is to ensure that every teacher in kindergarten class gets to be trained in the new play-based pedagogy, in the new learner-centered curriculum that ensures that children are engaged, children enjoy what they are learning, and children are able to communicate whilst they are learning. Children have very short attention span, so it's important you create a learning environment that is beautiful, that has games in, that has activities that will be able to make the learning process exciting for them.
Director for Early Childhood Education at the Ghana Education Service, Vida Barbara Into, underscored the significance of the policy. She says a lot is being done to make the classroom environment lively.
Now today, 25 senior high schools and TVET institutions will battle for intellect and innovation in the STEMnovation Competition at the University of Ghana's City Auditorium. Already, build up to the final has started with an exhibition of their creative works. Deputy Education Minister Reverend John Intim-Fojo is among dignitaries who inspected the innovations. Jacqueline Ansomaya-Boa was there for JoyNews.
In a groundbreaking shift from traditional educational norms, the STEMnovation Competition has emerged as a beacon of innovation, captivating the minds of more than 200 senior high schools and technical, vocational and educational training institutions across the country. From the vast pool of participants, the crucible of the competition has distilled excellence, bringing the number down to a formidable 25 schools now vying for the supremacy in the grand finale. Deputy Minister of Education John Intim-Fojo revealed that STEMnovation should be seen as a departure from the conventional theoretical approach and as imperative to integrate hands-on STEM experiences into our curriculum to nurture practical skills vital for the future.
And for us, we are excited to see practical demonstration of innovation in our schools. Gone are the days when people complain about how theoretical the kind of things we teach them, and then the kind of rote memorization, just remembering what teachers have taught them or written for them in their notes to reproduce. Now we are in the 21st century era where we are investing heavily in our education, the education of our second cycle institution, and ensuring that the kind of curriculum we teach them are standard-based, they are learner-centered, they are the ones that imbibe the concept of collaboration, critical thinking, creativity, and communication. This is clearly what we are seeing. So STEMnovation is a clear demonstration and testament to the fact that government is changing the face of education. We are getting into the practicality of what we are teaching them.
He also unveils a significant aspect of STEMnovation, emphasizing industry collaboration.
Beyond that, we'll have a partnership with National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Program, whereby some selected innovations that have made it to this point will be attached to industrial hubs, some innovation hubs across the country to further be supported and further upgrade the prototypes and whatever technology or invention they have brought up to a commercial scale and to a point where you can now put in money and get a factory out of it, get some apps that can sell and get products out of it that will solve various critical problems we have right here.
Learners of Tako T in the Nadoli-Kalio district of the Upper West region are heaving a sigh of relief after the district assembly started renovation works on their school. The school lacks a junior high school block, forcing students to study under a makeshift structure constructed from tree sticks and worn-out plastic materials. Rafiq Salam reports.
The people of Tako T composed of having a 6-unit primary school block, but that can be said of their junior high school. The learners has been crammed in a makeshift structure perched at the end of the primary school block. It is erected with tree sticks and roofed with wretched and worn-out plastic materials, mostly used to cover or dry farm produce. The plastic material is on the verge of completely torn apart, and as a result, the learners during instructional hours got distracted and their skin bombarded by the powerful sun rays that pierce through the many openings riddled in the jaded plastic material.
We have up to JHS, but the JHS is a self-initiative project. You will see now even some of them are in the shed. So they actually are relying on the primary school structure to carry on with the junior high school block.
Currently we have KG to JHS 3, but the JHS block is not, the JHS is not having a structure. We are using the primary classroom for the JHS.
Nadolo-Kalio District Assembly, concerned about the plight of the learners, awarded a contract for the construction of a 3-unit classroom block for the community under the Gulf of Guinea Northern Region Social Cohesion Project. The $150 million funded World Bank project is being implemented by the Ministry of Local Government, Decentralization and Rural Development in collaboration with the National Development Planning Commission, NDPC, to improve economic activities in 6 regions of the North that has been hit by food insecurity, climate change, conflict and violence, particularly in the Sahel region. The project, which was launched in May this year, is expected to serve as a catalyst for addressing some of the key emerging and recurring challenges.
We are going to hit the ground running. This is a specialized project, very interested by the office of the president. So we cannot afford to delay. It's not going to be treated like the usual projects. It's not a common farm project, neither is it even a district development facility project. This is for social cohesion. So the community should be rest assured. In 4 months' time, inshallah, we will come back and commission the project.
And as you yourself can see, we are using tents and other things for some of the classes. And I believe when the structure is completed, it will help us to improve learning, teaching and learning in the school. So it is a pleasure for this wonderful honor given to us.
Another is the construction of a chips compound for Natadwori. According to DC Catherine Lankono, community members have seriously been briefing on a neck over their development challenges.
Water, they needed chips, they needed a cage. So when this Soko project came, I called them. I said, choose one. I wanted you to make the first choice. And they chose the chips compound. And today, we are here to hand over the contractor to them, to support the contractor, so that with the minimum time, I've told the contractors, we don't want you to use the maximum time. Work assiduously so that within the minimum time, we can come back here and hand over the project.
The New Patriotic Party has started vetting parliamentary aspirants who have filed to contest in the party's primaries for orphan constituencies. 19 people have filed to contest in the 8 orphan constituencies in the Upper West region. And on Tuesday, 11 of these aspirants from 4 constituencies were vetted and okayed for the December 2 primaries. Another report by Rafik Salam.
3 descendants of the great Imam Yamoro of the Limairi clan are locked in a political battle for the right to lead the new Patriotic Party MPP to the 2024 polls in the West Central constituency. For one municipal chief executive, Tako T, who was the party's parliamentary candidate in the 2016 general election, it is time for revenge on his cousin Haji Audu, who he said he treated with kid gloves.
Yeah, I'm going to beat her. What shows? On the latter note, you know, women are very fragile. So if we hit her hard, she'll break. So that is why on the first attempt, we gave her the opportunity. And I think that she has tested it. She knows what it looks like. So this time round, we are not going to go with the kids' gloves.
Haji Audu said a much bigger and thicker punch awaits the one mayor who probably will flame out his parliamentary ambition.
Let's wait until 2nd December. We'll see whether it was a kid gloves that he used. This time, I'm also going to put in a very thick one to come and face my big brother.
Businessman Abdul Naya Ishak will be the 3rd Limairu that will be on the ballot paper for the MPP in the West Central Parliamentary Primary.
First of all, the youth in the party, the youth in the constituency, the women in the constituency, the women in the party. Secondly, education and skill training. When you are skillfully trained, you don't come out and wait for jobs. You come out and you start working. And when you start working, you start getting revenue. And our poverty will be reduced.
In neighboring West constituency, District Chief Executive Dr. Owuro Suleimani comes up against former West DCE and immediate past Upper Regional Secretary of the MPP, Isaac Halitu, and the party's 2020 parliamentary candidate, Engineer Salifu Yakubu.
But it's about supporting them. You support them, you look up to, they will look up to you for their aspirations, and then you also know that if you ever get a seat, there are things that you can do to support the communities and the people. So it's not that you are doing so much for them that they should vote for you. What I want is to get a seat, and I'll be able to use my knowledge and power to help my people.
Apart from that, sure. In fact, there's this chronic disease. Azuma Resources used to worry us a lot. But what we did, I told them, I'm able to get these people a mining license with the youth with 25 hectares from the Azuma Resources.
Whether MPP, NDC, they are ready to come along and work with me. The reason I am convinced, I'm begging delegates, the bridge between the MPP and Parliament is the delegates. That is the only bridge. Once the delegates allow us to cross that bridge safely.
In the Jiriba constituency, the municipal chief executive, Loe Nicolas Soyiri, will lock horns with Deputy Chief Executive Officer of the Zongo Development Fund, Aisha Salifu.
We don't speak Dagari in Parliament. As long as I can sit with my traditional rulers at traditional family gatherings, stakeholders meetings in my community, apart from the Ponas, I'm probably the only Impure in my community. So I sit in very vital meetings and they speak Dagari and I'm able to contribute. All I need to know is understand the plight of my people. Even if I can't understand what they say, you can see people's pain. Sure. You look around Jirapa and I ask myself, is this what I want for my people?
Santo, in terms of moral life, in terms of academic qualification, in terms of relationship with the grassroots.
2 childhood friends are also locked up in a battle for one to get a right to represent the people of the Laura constituency.
And that's how we wrap up this morning's news. There's more on myjoyonline.com. Up next is a news review on the AM show. Do stay.